Hello everybody, my name is Khaled Siddiqui, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to take apart and change the battery on a Amazon Kindle D01100, which is, I believe, the 4th generation Kindle. And I'm going to do a completely different approach. I'm going to first show you what is holding it together. It's one of the hardest ones to open. So I have already opened it. I have already taken it apart and opened it. But I made markings here that shows you where to pry, how to open, and what's holding it together. This way you are informed. It's good to be an informed surgeon than completely uninformed. It's like if you're performing a surgery on a patient and you have the ultrasound in front of you that you know where let's say the tumor is, you can have a much better approach than to completely guess, open the guy's stomach, and then later on look for the tumor. So in this informed approach, if you know exactly what is holding it together and where to apply pressure, and where to applying pressure to which part will actually break the Kindle, this will help you a lot to open it without any conflicts or problems. Now, a lot of these learning videos, I should say, or whatever you want to call it, suggest to use those little plastic prying tools. I don't like those because they break and they cover a very small area. I don't like that. I like the good old kitchen knife approach. What do I mean by kitchen knife? For example, if I were to open this using the small prying tool, which is something as a little thicker than a screwdriver. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so if I'm opening something with something as little as a screwdriver, I apply too much pressure in a very, very narrow area. So what I like something like a dull kitchen knife. Remember, I say dull. See, this is a dull knife. It doesn't cut because I took it from the kitchen. I rubbed it against the concrete to make it dull so it doesn't cut my finger or anything else. So a dull kitchen knife, if you put it like this, right? If you put it like this and you open it this way, you apply pressure in a wider area without damaging a sharp pointy with a sharp pointy item. So basically, instead of with a prying tool they provide with the battery pack is something applying pressure to a small area. This is applying pressure to a wider area. So obviously a wider area to put a knife and then fold it is much better. Now this right here in the center, there is glue. The glue is holding it here. Now, as if the glue wasn't bad enough to make it impossible to open, they have 4 hooks, if you can see. I don't know if you can see. There are 4 hooks. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 hooks that are standing out like studs, they're like this. 4 hooks standing like this in the center are actually snapping onto the battery holder. Here, 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 and here. Giving it a very firm grip in addition to the glue, making it next to impossible to open. And as if this wasn't hard enough, we have 4 tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. These tabs are actually entering the Kindle right here. Look at that. They're entering it. So you have to fight these. You have to fight these 4s. You have to fight these 2 that are entering it here. In addition to the 4 tabs on the sides that are snapping in. These 4 tabs are snapping in, and they are snapping into the locking mechanism here, 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 and here. So imagine how many locking mechanism this has. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 locking mechanism. 1, 2, in the exterior parameter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 hooks, different types of hooks. As you can see, this is also a hook-shaped thing. You see that? It's a hook-shaped. All of these are like, they're like little hooks. Look at that. All these are like little hooks, and that's what makes it so hard to open. Let me put my hand here so the camera can get a good focus so you can see. You see those 4 little hooks? As if that is not bad enough, then we have another hook here. Look at that hook right here. Here, let me put my finger there. That's another hook. And then we have these in all the exterior parameters. So what I did to make it for you a well-informed surgeon, make you a well-informed surgeon to do a precision surgery, is I'm going to put this back together because we're going to open it together so you can learn. I'll put it back together. So you have to put it back together, you have to put this one in, snap this, and then fold it. This has pretty much a lot of flexibility. So fold it and let that, these two are in. Now snap. Snap. So everything is snapped in. Very well snapped in. You can see it's not sticking up. It's not pre-opened. I mean, I opened it to show you, but you know. So first thing you want to do, you notice that there was glue, double-sided tape, square glue-shaped thingy here. You have to heat it up. You have to heat it up, heat it up. After you heat it up, you have to get a suction cup. I'm using a $2 GPS suction cup. I got this. This came actually with my Garmin. A $2 GPS suction cup. You can buy it on eBay. And some battery packs actually come with this, but that's a different kind. It has a ring to pull. This, after you heat it up, now you have to use a hair dryer to heat it up. In my case, because I don't use hair dryers, I'm using a professional heat gun, but this is extremely hot, so you have to put it in a very low degree and simply heat it up like this. Once you heat it up, the plastic will warm up. You cannot warm it up too much because this is not metal, this is plastic. Remember, if this was metal, you could have warmed it a lot, but it will melt. So warm it up a little bit to loosen the screw, and then pry with these where 21 millimeters from this edge, 21 millimeters. That's where that thing is, which I showed you. One of the hooks, right? So let's see. There. So I'm going to put something, let's say I can put a coin, maybe like a penny or something, so that thing doesn't re-engage. Okay, I'm going to put a coin so it doesn't re-engage, because they can re-engage easily. And then I'm going to go this one. This one is 30 millimeter from here, so keep that in mind. And you cannot pry right here because you have buttons, you have push buttons. So you have to be very careful. So there, I'm going to put another coin so this doesn't re-engage. Now, if you use something plastic, maybe a business card, it would be, actually, let me use a business card. No, a business card is too weak. Something like a guitar pick or something, if the coin might like damage it, short circuit the electrical components, because what if there is some charge on the battery? In my case, the battery is completely dead. So, okay, now I will go for the third one. Remember, I told you where they are. This one is 30 millimeters from there. 30 millimeters. Remember, 30 millimeter from here, 30 millimeter from here. But on this side, it's 21 millimeter, 21 millimeter. Okay. Now, this is the 26 millimeter of the 4 studs that are on the other side that are holding it. So, let's do a little bit of prying here. There you go. Now I'm going to put another coin here to hold this one from snapping back in. Okay, so now I have all those hooks with little coins. You can, like I said, you can use a guitar pick, you can use a stack of cards, whatever, something thick enough to hold it up. Now these, there is nothing I can do to open from here, and these will break. So you have to, what you have to do is you have to apply pressure from the center and lift it up, so these will self-disengage by becoming like this. So basically, let me show you a card. Let me show you what mechanism happens here. Okay, so this is a card. So this, when you lift it at the bottom, what happens is this folds from the center. When it folds from the center, these edges will disengage. Okay, so watch. Now I'm going to use this. Now it's good if you have a little bit of water, a drop of water. I'm gonna use just a drop of water, just a drop. Remember, 1 drop of water to make this wet, just 1 drop, because when you make it wet, it doesn't let go, that's why. You put it in the center, push it down and lock it. Okay, push it down and lock it. Now you open this, like pull this in a way to increase the height of the center so these could disengage. Okay, so that wasn't a successful attempt. I'll do it again. It's not an easy task, believe me, it's not an easy task. So now I'm holding there as I'm prying it from here. So I'm doing double prying, okay? Now here I'm not gonna put, because those things are going like inside. So because they're going inside, I'm not gonna put my knife here, because there's no point. There's no point to put it there. I'm basically putting the knife and pushing up. You cannot twist the knife because you will damage the components. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm gonna apply pressure. So I was applying pressure in the center like this to fold this so it could release these edges. So basically like that. So I'm gonna hold this to the camera so you could take a picture and see the distance of each part that's holding it together in millimeters, so that you know, like from the Kindle, so you know which side is up, which is down. 30 millimeter, we have these hooks. 21 millimeter, we have these hooks. The distance of this hook is 26 millimeter, and this one is 30. This one is 72. So that these are the hooks that are holding it together, and so are these. This is something you need to know. Okay, now once we have access to the inside, of course we are going to remove our pennies. We're not going to need it anymore. We clean the table because I had a drop of water there. Now let's get on to the battery. How do we open the battery? The battery is this is the battery underneath this plate, and you need a screwdriver to open, star-shaped screwdriver to open these. Which size is it? T5. You need T5 star-shaped screwdriver. Look at that. T5 star-shaped. Now the time 40 is the length, 40 millimeter. You don't have to worry about that. It could be a shorter one, it could be a bigger one, but it definitely has to be a T5. Let me go from a different angle. Okay, so zoom in a little bit. There you go. That's coming out. No, where did the water come from? Okay. All right, so this is out. This is very easily. Once you open the screws, this comes off easily. Okay, now here is a very, very important part. This is where the battery is attached to. Now, how do you disengage this? First, you have to realize that this it has a little flip open like this. See look at my hand. Like that. You have to open it like this, like opening a door. Okay, so that's how you have to do it. See that? Once you open that, this will come out very easily. Be careful not to damage that, because this is very critical, this little connector. And this is my battery. Battery comes off relatively easily, but it's not that easily because they have double-sided tape. Remember, there's a rubber around the battery. This is a rubber cushion around the battery to keep the battery. Okay, so the battery you just saw it has a really strong double-sided tape. Look at that. Look how strong that is. I mean, just with my finger I can lift it. That's how strong this is. So you put your new battery. You put your new battery in. Close this. And make sure this is all the way in. There's a little thing. Let me go from the top camera so you can see better. Come on, top camera, zoom. Okay, see, this has a little, like a couple of thingies here. Let me illuminate the back. See, it has a couple of sticking out parts. That is what's holding it from coming out. So you have to make sure these are in before you close it. Okay, you couldn't see that when black on brown, but when you put it on the silver, you could see it easily. Okay, let's see. Okay, see, it's very deep inside now. It's very deep. I mean, it's fully inserted. You can't put the cable halfway in. You have to be fully inserted. Okay, that looks very good. Looks very nice. So now let's put the cover back in. This is the battery cover. Okay, let's see. We have one more screw. Okay, the battery cover is back in. I'm gonna snap the top back in. I will clean this up later. With alcohol, I did it with a waterproof marker with this guy, with a pointy Sharpie, which could be rubbed off with alcohol. Okay, so that's where the tape was. So again, when I put it back in, watch how I do it. Let me go to the top camera again. So basically you put these little tabs here, you put it in, and then fold it, put the other tabs in, and snap it in. So these two tabs, and then these two tabs, both tabs are in, and then you just snap it in. That's it. This puppy has a new battery. Obviously the new battery is not charged, so it's not gonna work, but it sure does have a new battery. Let me plug this in, and it is charging now. Very good. So it takes a while for it to charge for the new battery. Yeah, so that's how you do it. So basically the most important thing is to know where it's holding on to. This way you know where to apply pressure and where not to apply pressure, and how to do it carefully. Because see, here you have a switch. Wherever you have a switch, any type of a switch, you cannot do a prying there because you break the switch. Same thing on this side. You have a switch here, you have a button here. Like, you can't do prying here. So prying over here, prying there, there, and there. The millimeters are written for you to know where exactly, and then you have to put your suction cup in the middle, open. Together you have to do it with this and this together, like this. You have to do it like simultaneously. While you're holding it up, you have to help it out with a knife or with something, maybe stick or something, flat stick, maybe paint mixer or whatever. Put it in and fold it. Okay, so yeah, that's how you do it. I hope this was educational and you learned something. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.